We can start with Ben Ransom from Sky Sports.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Carlo.
Good afternoon.
In the current pandemic, it's perhaps understandable that there's a bit of concern about players travelling all around the world. So I suppose an obvious first question is just to find out, what is the health of the squad now you've got all the players back together?
The players from South America came back yesterday. They were okay. They were tested negative from the travel, so everything is okay. They trained today. It seems that they don't have problem. They are quite fit, a little bit tired for the travel, but we have time to recovery until Sunday.
Speaking of one of those South American players, James Rodriguez put out a strong statement denying any altercation while he was away with the Colombia squad. How's he been since he's come back?
But really, I didn't talk to him about this because I think it's not our problem. I just welcome him. He trained like Mina. Of course, they were disappointed for the result of the national team, but I think now they have to be focused on our games.
And just a check in on the other injured players, if you don't mind. Can you tell us how Jean-Philippe Gbamin is?
Gbamin is the last part of his recovery. I think that he will be here in 2 weeks, 3 weeks to be ready to play, to train and play. And we have Coleman not available for this game, and then the other are quite fit, good condition.
So does that mean that Delph, Alan and Richarlison are all fit?
Yes, they are all fit.
It might be a bit simplistic, Carlo, to draw a direct parallel between the fact that you've lost the last 3 games, all of those games without Richarlison, but how key is he to the way you play?
We didn't lost because Richarlison was not there. Because if he was a defender, I can say, okay, we lost power in defense, but he's a striker, and the problem that we had was that we didn't defend properly in the last 3 games. And so, but of course, Richarlison is an important player for us, really important, top players and a player, and it's important to have him for this period fit. Also, he's happy because he scored with the national team. He showed a good condition, and so he's welcome to be back with us.
Does he bring the best out of the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well and James Rodriguez when they're all playing together?
Of course, he has quality, he has everything. I think Richarlison can reach top level in football, in my opinion. He has all the skill necessary to be at the top. I think he's still young, but he's an humble guy, really serious, really professional. I think he can be at the top soon.
On another subject, Carlo, if I may, there's been an increased push in the last couple of weeks to find out exactly what the link is between heading a football and dementia after a number of former players were diagnosed with the disease. Now, you're a man who played a lot of games, you've headed a lot of footballs. I just wonder, when you hear links like that, is it something that concerns you?
Yes, of course, because I think that every research that they do for this is welcome. It is true that 40 years ago when I played, there was not the control that the player has in this period. Anti-doping control, everything. I think that the player now are more controlled, but I think is an aspect that we have to take in consideration seriously, because the welfare of the players is the most important part, and the fact that in the past a lot of players had problems, not only for dementia but a lot of other things, it is a concern for everyone. This is absolutely normal and welcome the research for this.
Player welfare is also at the heart of the debate about whether or not to increase the number of substitutes from 3 to 5. I know the Premier League clubs have twice voted to keep it at 3, but now that you've got all the data, would you like to see it stay at 3, or would you like to see 5 substitutes in the future?
I think on the welfare of the players, it doesn't change a lot to have 3 or 5, because if you want to rest a player, you don't have to put him on the pitch at the beginning. You can rotate the player at the beginning. But if 5 substitutions help just a little for the welfare of the players, it could be, in my opinion, good. Because I think that in this moment, nobody take care of the welfare of the player. So the schedule, the fixture are really busy. The national team doesn't look organizing friendly games in this period. So everything we are going to do, or the FIFA, UEFA are going to do for the welfare of the player, it will be important.
And just one final one, sorry to keep you, but just on the speculation about Isco this week, I just wonder why you were so keen to shut that down so quickly this week.
Isco is a rumor from the press, from the media. It's not a rumor that went out from our side, because we are not talking about market in this period. We are talking about the problem that we had, and we are working to try to solve this problem. Apart from this, Isco was my player in Real Madrid, and a fantastic player, but he's a Real Madrid player.
Thank you for your time.
Hi, Carlo. I'm Anne-Marie from PLP. I wanted to ask you, what do you feel is the biggest threat that Everton can pose for Fulham?
Fulham didn't start well the season, but in the last few games that they had the result, and it will be an important game because for what we did in the last 3 games, we lost three games, and we don't want to have. We want to have a reaction. We want to play well. We want to come back to play well as we did at the start of the season. It will be a difficult game because there is pressure on us, and has to be. This has to be because we didn't do as we wanted in the last 3 games.
How welcome is the extra day to prepare for the match at Craven Cottage?
Oh, really important, really important. I don't want to be really important because we had we played against Liverpool on Saturday at midday. It was for the players was not the best way to prepare this kind of game. To have one more day is really better, above all for the player that arrived just yesterday.
And how much has the international break been a chance for an opportunity to reset the season going into the Christmas period?
No opportunity because we trained with 4 or 5 players, so we didn't have time to reset. We have just to training session before the game. We try to do our best and to reset, above all, as I said, defensively the team.
And last one from me, Frank Lampard has this week been talking about management, that it's very much all-consuming, dealing with around 50 problems every day. Is that how you see it?
It's true. It's true. Maybe 50, 60 problems a day you can solve, but it's not a big problem for me. Maybe I have more experience than Frank. Frank started now this life, and with more experience, I can tell him that it will be better.
Thank you very much, Carlo.
Alistair, please.
Hi, Carlo. you talked about dementia in football, and you wanted to get more research that was welcome. I just wondered, as someone who's played the game, as was mentioned before, as a player, do you have any concerns about your own health looking forward?
Listen, I had my teammates that died for LSA a few years ago, and of course we were worried. We were concerned for what happened in the past, what the treatment that we had in the past. But what can we do now? Now, I think that we have to support the research for the future, not for the past, because the past, unfortunately, is the past. What happened to us in the past, we never know what's going on in the future. Some players from the past had the big problem. Unfortunately, until now, I didn't have problem. But of course, I am worried about this because I didn't know. I don't know. I didn't know what happened to me, what kind of treatment I did. I can understand now. I try to understand now what happened to me in the past. For the fact that I had 6 surgery on my knees, I think it's something went wrong. For the fact that I had a surgery on my cervical spine, it means that something went wrong when I was a player. But unfortunately, it's the past. We have to work for the future of the players that are playing now. And fortunately, the things improved a lot on the physical aspect, on the prevention. Now the players are doing a safe job. I cannot say that I did a safe job. I played safe when I played. This is wrong.
And do you think that football needs to change its approach to heading? Can you see a day where heading is banned?
I don't know this. I think that we have to research for this. I don't know how to play with the head affect this. We have to be supported by the medicals and by the research that they have to do for this.
And just last one from me. I just wanted to ask about James Rodriguez. Are you after the last few games? Do you think he could play as a number 10? He's better suited to play in a number 10 position as opposed to the right side of midfield.
His position is a number 10, but doesn't matter if he play a little bit on the right or his better position is to play in front. This is for no doubt for this. But all the game that he played in front. It doesn't matter if he's in the middle of the pitch or he's a little bit on the right of the pitch.
Okay, thanks.
James, please.
Hello there, Carlo. Apologies, you can't see me. In the international break, have you thought about what your team needs to get back to doing if you're to return to the form you showed when you won four in a row?
Yeah, of course. We have worked with the player that we had on this, and then I try to work on this to solve the problem that we had. That was a clear problem, as I talk and as I said, and we try to solve this.
And as for Fulham, their home record so far this season is drawn 1 and lost 3. There's only one team in the Premier League that is unbeaten at home so far this season after just 4 games. Does that say that home advantage, the line has been blurred because there are no fans in the stadium?
No, I think so. The fact that there are no fans at this season affect the result at home. This is for sure. There is no doubt for this.
And a player who was at Everton, albeit before your time, Ademola Lookman, is now at Fulham. Do you have any thoughts on him?
No, I think that we are looking for a team. Of course, I know that some players played for us, for Everton in the past, but we are looking as a team, as a good team, well organized, and but we are focused on there.
Thanks, Carlo.
Okay, we'll just take one more from Carl in the open section before we move on to the newspapers, please.
Hi, Carlo.
Hi.
Hi. Before, after the Manchester United defeat, you said you wanted to go away and work on the defensive side of the team. But as you've already said, you only had 4 or 5 players. So how quickly have you identified what the issue is, and how quickly can you put that into effect? Bear in mind you haven't had the players to work with.
Yeah, we have to try, as I said, to work in these 2 days that we had to prepare, and then follow after the game. Try to have a good result, a good answer from the game, and explain to them the mistake clearly through with video session that we have to do tomorrow and before the game, and that's it, and focus on the game.
In your experience, how quickly can you get the players to take on? Are you asking them to do something drastically different from what they have been doing, or is it just a minor tweak?
Well, of course, we have to defend differently. We have to be more aggressive. We have to be more compact. We have to have more concentration, and we have to try to work together. This is, of course, you have to work on the pitch, but you can switch your mental aspect defensively, also with also talking about this.
So we'll just go to James from TalkSport before we move to the newspapers, please.
Carlo, we know that Wayne Rooney is set to begin his managerial career tomorrow. What is the key to making a successful transition from being a successful international player to being a successful manager?
Good luck. All the best for Wayne Rooney. It was a fantastic player. He can be a fantastic manager. I have to say that the experience that you had as a player can help you in the relationship with the players. You can understand better how the player think about what happened daily in the dressing room. But after that, there is another world to discover. That is the world of the physical preparation, the world of the strategy, the world of the methodology of trainings, and you can learn this with daily work.
And just finally from me, Sami Khedira has seemed to suggest that he'd like to work with you again one day. Could you see him coming to Everton in the near future?
I have a good memory of Sami Khedira that was with me in Real Madrid. He's a fantastic professional. I would love to work with him, but unfortunately, he's not the only one. I had a fantastic player in my career. I have a good memory of them, but to come here to Everton is another thing to consider.
Thank you, Carlo.
Okay, we'll move on to the newspapers now, please. So if everybody else can please leave the call.